Good morning. Welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday, the 8th of June. Okay, looking at the euro dollar. Actually, before I look at the euro dollar, let's just get on and just remind you of the key data coming out today at 1:30. Well, 12:45. We've got the minimum bid rate, but the most important data is at 1:30, where we're looking to see if Draghi discusses any reduction or any tapering of the quantitative easing. Following on from that, we will have we'll be hearing a testimony in Congress of the FBI Director Comey, and then, of course, as we lead through the day and throughout the day, we've got the UK elections, and we may get snippets. More importantly, probably about 10 p.m., just after 10 p.m., we'll probably get exit poll data, which has generally been pretty good in terms of the forecast for the actual poll itself after the event, of course, but then we will get the voting as we go through Friday morning. But that exit poll itself may give the pound a move one way or the other. Anyway, let's have a look at the euro dollar first, and it's still sitting round about these highs. Pulled back, it sold off quite strongly yesterday, pulled back within to price. That was partly brought by an ECB staff projection suggesting that the GDP they're going to raise the GDP outlook and cut inflation forecast. So that possibly put the end to tapering it of the quantitative easing at that point, but we'll see how the euro reacts later this morning, or today, should I say. Okay, so where it's sitting at the moment, it's sitting in a relatively tight range. There's the movement we saw yesterday. It's sitting in a tight range. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't sit in a relatively modest range through this morning. Very choppy yesterday with that move. It's at the moment possibly just on this intermediate, it's looking like it might want to roll back over, but it really is a case of almost anything can happen this morning, so I shall be treading carefully. Looking at the pound dollar, well, the pound dollar actually has seen a bit of a improvement. It's interesting listening to some of the polls and how they're built, that they're building in a 90% turnout of the under 25s, which is probably a bit on the high side, one would expect, in which case some of that reduction of the gap it may be a lot less than expected. So anyway, it's sitting there at the moment, pretty high up, looking like it may want to push on today. Certainly a possibility later on, but it's just about anything can happen in politics these days. It's gone up to the previous day's high there already, and well, we'll see how it sort of sits around that this morning, but I won't be surprised if it comes back into range a little bit unless other polls start coming out which are a bit more positive. Okay, looking at dollar yen, and the dollar yen started moving back towards its weekly pivot. There is a harmonic pattern there that was pointed out to me yesterday. That's sort of in throws, but got thrown off last night. When certain data, as a press report citing that the Bank of Japan sources that the central bank's considering ways of communicating its discussing the shape of the quantitative easing exits as well. So that's sort of thrown in there, and on that basis, we saw the potential for the yen to sell back off. Actually, here the dollar yen to sell back off, should I say. Short term, well, it's run into its 4-hourly 21. It's in the intermediate here. It's well, pushing back up this morning at the moment. This, as I say, the bigger pattern may see it just still continue to push up. It's already had a reasonable movement here. It put in a bit of a divergence move towards the lows there. So there is a possibility, and it's still got the weekly pivot to go above as a target if it was to start running, but difficult one at the moment. Aussie dollar. Another surge up yesterday, held up to its gains pretty well. Pretty straightforward, as you can see. We've not seen a lot of retracement on this currency as such. It's the retracements have been pretty slim on the ground at the moment. However, at the moment, this current move, well, it could be coming in. I mean, we see this consolidation through the earlier sessions. It could be just consolidating here before it takes another push towards yesterday's highs, and maybe that R1. So at the moment, it certainly looks on track to do so. Canadian dollar. In fact, let me just run into oil here because we could see quite a sell-off of oil yesterday, down to $45, $46 a barrel. Canadian dollar, well, it did respond at the time, and it's well, messing its pattern up a little bit here, looking more likely to work back towards the monthly pivot there. At the moment on the 4-hourly, it looks like bull flag sort of territory. As I said, it looks that way at least at the moment. As this market's, I mean, it's put the lower high in at this stage. It has got a daily pivot below, so it may want to see a bigger correction. Or we may see a bigger correction here yet before it. Well, and that's if it can carry on pushing upwards. The previous sort of view here, look, it was a bear flag sort of pattern, and it looked like it was going to continue maybe down at some point, but that's a big change in the price of oil yesterday, affecting the Canadian dollar quite a bit. Now it depends on whether it can hold on at this point, or whether we'll just see a continuation back downwards. Okay, that's pretty much it today. As I said, key news today, then we've got the elections all day long today. I don't think we'll see too much properly until post 10 o'clock. More importantly, though, 12:45/1:30, we've got the ECB press conference, and we've got in the US, we've still got the panel to be had over there. So that's pretty much it. Have a great one. Bye for now.